G'day guys, in this video we're going to be installing the Teraflex Longarm kit on my JK. Let's go. Righto guys, welcome back. A bit more Jeep stuff in this video. So as you can see, Teraflex Longarm kit is finally going in the Jeep. Why am I doing a long arm kit? Well, mainly it's just to try and get a bit better road performance. Not looking for any extra flex or anything, because my current setup maxes out the shocks, like I can't get any more flex. It's more for on the highway, bit better road manners. So I'll explain that a little bit. So my current Jeep setup now, I've got around about 3.5 inch lift on the standard stock length control arms. So what that does, obviously you raise the car up 3 inches and the angle of your control arms gets steeper, and what that does is when you hit a bump on the road, it transfers some of that into the vehicle, so it makes the ride a little bit rougher. So the flatter your control arms, the more of the bumps are just absorbed by the shock absorber. But when you get the steeper angles, it doesn't look like much there because of the bent control arm, but when you get steeper control arm angles, it transfers some into the shock, but then some up into the body. So when you're on a rough road, you feel all the bumps a bit more. So with this setup, these new mounts take the control arms back towards the center of the vehicle more, and there's longer control arms, hence the long arm. So what that does is reduces the angle on all of the control arms, which hopefully is going to make it a much nicer ride. So yeah, got to start ripping the Jeep apart and getting ready to install this setup. Alright, we got the wheels off and she's up on the hoist. Had to put the hoist pretty far forwards on these mounts, because this mount here where I normally mount it, all of this has to get cut off. So that's going to be fun. And because of that, I just put a stabilizer on the back, which just steadies it all up. You can sort of see now with the wheel off, even though the axle's at full droop, it's a bit more pronounced, but with the angle of those control arms, you can imagine you hit a bump, some of the force is going to go up through the shock as it should, but some of it's going to go up into the body, and then you'll feel it in the car. Whereas if these arms are flatter out here, less force is going to get put through those arms and it's all going to go into the shock, which is what you want. So fingers crossed, once I get all this done, it's going to be a much better ride. So yeah, let's get started. Righto, now just gonna drop the fuel tank out. Should be all loose hopefully, so we'll see how we go. Pretty close. Just got to get the there's a little clip in there I've got to get, and untangle a few of the diff breather tubes and stuff, but yeah. Looks like we've got half of Tasmania on top of this fuel tank. Lovely.
is it a danger game, or this is just what a non-negotiable? Come and win.
No, there's no losing today. I would think Richmond is still going to win 2 or 3 games for the year. They're going to get smashed repeatedly. It was just a bit of a shock. So I don't think we're going to learn too much out of what Adelaide.
So I've got all the control arms are out, and now it's time for the point of no return. I'm going to cut off these control arm mounts because the new piece mounts back here, get that extra length. So I've got to grind all these off and make it clean, ready for the new piece to weld on. So I went ahead and removed the front control arm brackets as well, and that's all just hanging. And I have to remove these upper control arm bushings on the axle. So I've got the ball joint press on there now, just to push this rubber through. If you can see, because of the light, if I go this side it might be better. You can sort of see there, just pushing this rubber through, and then I'll take the sleeve out because it came with new ones. So I do that on there and there, and put all those on, and do everything I can before we start grinding. Well, getting these out was an absolute nightmare. Had to basically chisel them out. Yeah, that sucked. The new, if I can get it to focus, Teraflex bushing. So just the front upper control arm, axle side, just got to push them in. So nice new bushings. Well, point of no return. Time to hit the gas axe. One down, heaps more to go. Righto, just like that. Cleaned it up a bit with the grinder, but ready for the mounts, but I'll cut the front ones off as well. So all the cutting's done, and then we'll look at mounting up some brackets. So just got a little gusset to weld on first. Bit of extra strength for the frame there. So I'll weld him on. Well, I've tacked it on. That's the whole bracket there. And I just ran out of MIG wire, so we're gonna have to go to the shop. But yeah, fits on pretty nice. Couple of clamps to get everything nice and tight while I tacked it, yeah, considering this is where the control arm is going to be going from now, and it was back over here, so quite a bit extra length there. So that's pretty much it for the day. Come back once I've got some more MIG wire. Righto. MIG wire obtained. Let's weld this sucker on. So I've got one of the front ones tacked in, just under the front here, and I got new MIG wire and I ran out of MIG gas, so I've gone on to the back while I'm waiting, and I'm starting to install the rear control arms. So I've got this side on, and just gone off the stock measurements so far. We'll see how it looks when it sits back on the ground, but they're definitely a lot longer than the ones that were back up here, so going to be interesting. I reckon that's going to be pretty close by the time it swings back into the well, so we'll get this other side on, and we'll be halfway to dropping it back on the ground. Put the fuel tank back in. One job I would recommend not doing is snapping that stem off the breather. When I was taking it down, I didn't realise, but that just snapped off. So now I'm trying to glue it back together with a bit of epoxy, otherwise I'm screwed. So just layering on the JB Weld, and we'll see how it goes. Alrighty, day 4 I think we're on to, give and take. So I've got the front driver's side all welded on. So he's all, I've got to spray it up, but that one's ready to go. And now I'm just getting ready to tack on the passenger side, a few clamps to get it all nice and tight. And then that's the last of the welding, and I can put it all back together. So yeah, I'll tack this on, and we're nearly done. This last one's probably going to be the worst one to weld. It's because this big exhaust loop's in the road. Got to try and get around it, but yeah, we'll see how we go. We'll get it tacked on. Righto, got that sucker welded on, and I've just started to mount the arms. So if I spin around this way, you can see that one's just sitting there, and this one is hanging. The good thing about these IR bushings is independent rotation, so you can fully torque them up when they're on there with the vehicle raised, and it'll still swing around, so should be nice and smooth when we're driving. So just got to get all this mounted on with a bunch of ratchet straps to pull the axle in a line, and try and get it all bolted up, and I can put it back on the ground. So, just dropped it back onto the ground because I couldn't quite get the last front upper control arm bolt in. So I put it all back together, and as I dropped it onto its wheels, that tilted the diff back so the hole lined up. So she's all sitting on its own wheels. So I still got to put the side steps on because my side steps didn't work with this bracket, so I've got to cut them and put them back on. But yeah, finished putting it all back together, and I'll have to book in a full wheel alignment to get it all nice. But we'll take it for a spin and see how it drives just off of the stock measurements. Thought I'd just show a quick video of how it looks from the outside. Now it's sitting on the ground. As you can see, if you were rock hopping, there's a bit more there you can get hooked on, but I don't think that's going to worry me. So yeah, it all sits in there pretty nice. You can hardly even see the upper control arm, it's tucked right up in there, and the same on the front. She's sort of tucked right up. It's almost going uphill, the upper control arm, instead of downhill now. So yeah, take her for a spin, see how it goes. First drive with the new suspension. If the axles fall off, you'll see it here first. So sounds like I might have just bumped the flange on the exhaust loop when I was pushing it out of the way to weld, so I might need to nip that up. You can hear that a bit loud under the passenger seat, but besides that, it seems to be tracking pretty straight, so I must be close to being in alignment. Get it up to speed here. Yeah, everything as normal so far. Just need to find some bumps or something to really test it out, or a bit of crappy road to see if you really notice the extra smoothness or not. But definitely doesn't seem to be jumping around on the road quite as much. It would sort of jump around before and it'd follow the bumps a little bit, but it seems to be just tracking over them at the moment, which is nice. Just wants to go in a straight line. So yeah, first drive okay, I suppose. Need a lot more testing and then book in that alignment, and then we'll really have it dialed in hopefully, and yeah, success I think. So any questions, let me know. I think it said it takes 12 hours to do the install. I think it's taken me about 30 or 40, so had a few little hiccups along the way, but I wanted to do it all right. I didn't want to muck around, so yeah, pretty happy with it. But any questions, let me know. But otherwise, thanks for watching. See you next time.